What is up, players? It's Warboss Tay back up in this mug talking about episode 2 of the WandaVision television show on Disney Plus, streaming now. And my non-spoilery review of this is that it's more of the same, except immediately off the bat, we're taken from I Love Lucy's and the 50s look, which you can see with her hair. Elizabeth Olsen's wig in the first episode is very, very I Love Lucy, Donna Reed with the curls, and it's very cute 1950s housewife. And her costume changes to more of a 60s look in the second episode. In fact, a lot of the things in the second episode look like they go from the 1950s to the 1960s. And right off the bat, the opening credits go from the live action credit scene in episode 1, where it looks like they were just married and moving from the city into the suburbs, and he's carrying her over the threshold in her wedding dress. It looks like episode 2 wants to take more cues from the 1960s version of Bewitched, because the opening credit sequence is a complete homage to the Bewitched opening credits, where you've got a little cartoon with the characters and their names, and it's very, very cute. And again, it totally sets you on what the mood is supposed to be. It tells you right off the bat, this is the mood we're going for. And when she uses her powers, they're very much like Bewitched, where it would immediately cut to show the effect of her magic powers. And it's like in Bewitched, when they would, in the middle of the scene, she would wiggle her nose, and they would cut, and then they would change whatever they had to in the scene to make it look like magic had taken effect, and then they would say action. And then when they edit it together, it looks like something happened. It's not at all like using CGI. They're not cheating. It looks like the director and this everybody behind this show really wanted to be faithful to the 1950s and 60s television shows by using as much practical effects as they could. So, spoiler-free review. I think it's great. The show is great. I can't say enough about it. And even the little commercial break. I like how they break up these episodes by having a little minute-long commercial where they might be hiding some clues as to what's going on. Observant viewers can catch something and go, "Oh my gosh, look at that!" But even if you're not going along with it to try to unpack everything and dissect what's going on screen, if you're just casually watching, it's really fun to see what is on screen, what they're doing. So my spoiler-free review is that, how does it compare to the first episode? I think it's just as charming. They actually do go out of the house a little bit more. Episode 1 seemed to stay in the house setting more than this one does. And they go out into the town a little bit more. There's a few different sets we haven't seen from the first episode. And the supporting cast, I forgot to mention from the first episode, the supporting cast is really good. The first episode was really aided by the portrayal of Vision's boss. I forget this actor's name, but I've seen him in everything. And in episode 2, he's absent, but his wife's character, who was at the dinner scene in the first episode, she's here without any lines, but she plays a prominent background role. You can see her featured in the background a lot. So episode 2, where does it stand compared to episode 1? It definitely has some interesting revelations that move the plot and the story, the whole concept forward in time. So I would say it's better than episode 1 just because it does move the story forward. And there are some real, truly strange and creepy instances in this episode that are set up by the music, the tension, and the visuals. And when things happen, you're wondering, what does that mean? What is that? Why does it feel like that? And then it kind of flips back to the 1960s television show format, and then you're left wondering, what? Okay, I don't know what I'm watching. And there is a particularly interesting spanner thrown into the works at the end, which I'll talk about in my spoiler part of my review. But overall, I think these episodes really go together. And I'm glad Disney Plus decided to package them together by releasing them at the same time, rather than releasing episode 1 and then waiting a week and then episode 2. I'm not even sure what their release schedule is like. I think that if they can maintain a weekly release schedule, it'd be really fun. rather than a Netflix dump it all out at once. I think this is the way to go. The characters and the actors are so well established, so built up. I think having them released at one time like a Netflix deal would have done them a disservice and would have kind of cheapened and diluted the effect of the show, which is that you want to feel like you're watching a weekly sitcom. So that is my spoiler-free review. Thanks for watching, everybody. Check it out. If you haven't already seen it and you're thinking about it, it's definitely something you want to watch. And if you want just something lighthearted, take your mind off of what's going on in the world today, it's a refreshing change from everything in the news and everything else you're seeing. All right, so that's it. If you don't want to hear spoilers, get out of here. And if you do want to hear some spoilers, then here we go. The big change is that at the end of this episode, everything turns into color. For the last 2 episodes, we've been in black and white, and now when they kiss each other, the Wanda and Vision kiss at the end of the episode, and they pull away, his face is suddenly purple, like Vision, and silver. And then everything in the world turns to color. And another big reveal is that Wanda is pregnant now for some reason, and not just like, I just found out I'm pregnant, but she looks like 3 or 4 months pregnant. She's got an obvious belly at the end in the last scene, and you're like, what? Wait, where did that come from? So it's interesting how they're moving the storyline forward. She finds at the beginning a toy helicopter in the bushes, and everything's in black and white, but this toy helicopter is in bright red and yellow, which made me think of Tony Stark, the Iron Man costume. And then at the end, everything turns into color, so it's good to see that they're moving forward and progressing the plot. There's a strange moment, very creepy. So like it seems every episode has like a creepy little moment thrown in where we're wondering what the heck that means. In fact, there are 2 in this episode. The first one where we see her at a garden party, and she's talking to another character, and then the radio suddenly starts going off, and someone's trying to communicate to her, asking her, like, Wanda, where are you? Where are you, Wanda? So she's like, what? What is it? And you can tell she's not really making sense of it, and it seems like she's playing it really well, like she's trying to remember something that she forgot, or that is like a dream that you forget, and she's trying to place it and remember it. And it's very, very strange. And then the second event later on, when this weird beekeeper character comes out of a sewer grate, like a manhole cover, he pushes off and he stands up and he's like walking around with all these bees around him. Very odd, very strange. I love it. I love the mystery. That they're trying to keep the mystery as long as possible. But there's only so much of that you can do before you have to move the story forward. So having a little bit of creepiness in every episode, definitely something that works to the benefit of this show. And when they start revealing what is going on, how she's trapped in this TV world, then I hope they carry it forward from there. All right, thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this little video clip, or this little audio review of episode 2. Looking forward to episode 3, and another episode review will be up for that as soon as it's out. Latest, players!